Hello and welcome to ENERGYxtra. Today, myself and Louise Purcell are joined by Carl Ford, who is the Managing Director of UK Utility Solutions Provider.
Hi, Carl.
Hello, Paul. Hello, Louise.
So, Carl, can you explain to us a little bit about UK Utility Solutions Provider?
Family-run business. We're relatively new in the scheme of things. We've been going for 10 years. However, I've been in the industry in various roles for the last 30 years. We supply specialist tools and equipment to the DNOs, and we also get involved in different projects as well.
Replacing wooden poles is a huge cost for the utility and communication industries, and I know you've got some products that help extend the lives of poles when they're rotten, and this could be from woodpecker damage or top rot. So it's a little bit like having the stone chip repaired on your windscreen of your car to save at the total replacement cost. Can you explain how it works?
The products that we supply for repairing wood poles, they've been either damaged by woodpeckers, have top rot, or have ground rot. It's not a new product. It's a product that's been in the States for over 20 years, but it's fairly new to the UK. The product itself, it's an expanding epoxy that actually bonds to the wood. It cures at 300 degrees Celsius, so it kills any spores, any rot spores in the wood, and it cross bonds to the structure itself. And how it actually works is it's neither stronger or weaker than the pole. It mimics the strength of the wood pole itself. So as a cost-saving benefit is substantial. We know that a utility pole is fairly cheap, 150, maybe £200 for a utility pole. But the actual cost of a replacement of the pole, once you've got labour involved, machinery and everything else, is in the thousands. By using our products, you can extend the life of the pole. So for instance, when the helicopters do helicopter patrol and they spot top rot on the poles, our kit is a two-part mix in the bag. You basically, simple, you only need a pair of gloves and a knife. That's all the tools you need. You can either climb and do it off spikes, or you can do it from a bucket truck. They've even used it in the US from a helicopter as well. Basically, you mix it in the bag, cut the corner, squeeze it out onto the top of the pole, put the bonnet on top and pull the zip tie. The reason we use a bonnet and a zip tie is because it expands at 2 to 1. And obviously, if there wasn't something there to stop it, it'd all come out over the top. Once it's cured, which can take between 20 minutes and 2 hours, you've got permanent repair that we guarantee for 20 years. So that means you don't have to change the pole if it's got top rot. With regard to woodpecker damage, woodpeckers are very territorial, and what they are looking for is minute insects that are inside dead trees. And obviously a utility pole is a dead tree because it's got no roots, it's not living anymore. So they'll land on the pole, and the pecking sound that you hear is them, they're sounding out and doing drill holes into the pole looking for these minute insects. And their tongue is somewhere in the region of about 4 inches long, and it probes inside to get the insects. But when it does that, it actually induces spores of fungus into the pole, and that's where you get the decay from. So in real terms, a woodpecker hole doesn't actually cause a loss of strength to the pole, but over time, if it's not treated or repaired, water sits in the woodpecker hole and then starts to rot the pole. So you get rot from the inside down in the heartwood in the center. So our product, again, it's a mix in the bag, comes with some fabric that you staple over. So again, all you need is a knife, a staple gun and some gloves. Mix it in the bag, squeeze it into the hole, staple the fabric over the top. As it cures, it bonds structurally to the pole. That's the repair done.
What stops the woodpecker returning to the pole once it's been repaired?
we've also got a product that actually deters the woodpecker from coming back and attacking the pole, which is a paint. And that paint is an asphalt water-based paint. It's environmentally friendly. There's no nasties in it. And that's the same for the top rot and the woodpecker repair kits. Once it's cured, you can put it in a normal trash can, as they say in America, or rubbish bin, as we say in the UK. So you don't need to, it doesn't need to be disposed of in any, it's got no chemical bond once it's cured.
Do you have a product that protects against ground rot?
The ground rot, we have two things that we have the paint that stops ground rot decay, and we've also got a sleeve kit where you can put a fiberglass sleeve around the base of the pole and fill it full of resin, and you end up with a bonded resin boot on the bottom of the pole, which won't rot and won't decay anymore, and it restores the strength. We've done testing. Norwegian Electricity asked us to do testing on the poles brake tests. So what we did a series of holes right through the pole from front to back at 1 meter, 2 meters, and 3 meters. We paired them with the woodpecker repair kits, and then we put them on a rig and bend them until they broke. And every pole broke on a knot. Not one pole broke up where the repair was. We have that information that we can share with you. So those three systems are there to repair poles quite easily and very cost effectively. So it negates the need to do a pole change.
This could actually save utility and communication companies millions and millions of pounds. Can you share any of the numbers involved, or have you got any examples of what sort of money we're talking?
A study that's been done by the Norwegian electricity companies and Swedish electricity companies have found that somewhere in the region of 20% of their poles are being attacked by woodpeckers or are getting top rot or ground rot. So they found that we've been working with a number of companies over in the Scandinavian region with these products at the moment, and we know for a fact that the savings there are in the millions. We'll give you, for instance, a certain double section of pole was attacked by the woodpeckers. They went out and did a pole change, and within 2 or 3 weeks, the woodpeckers came back and attacked the same pole. So they went back. This time, they repaired the poles. They used the deterrent paint that we got. That was 5 years ago. They've been back to the same circuit every year. There's been no further damage caused by the woodpeckers. So the saving there for them is a significant amount. As you can imagine, to change some of the poles in these Scandinavian countries, should I say, they have to go out by helicopter because sometimes they're in, 2-3 foot of snow, and it's not easy to just get a wagon out there to do a pole change. So we believe the savings for certainly any company that uses wood poles is significant.
I understand you're trialling a revolutionary bird diverter here in the UK with the DNO. Can you tell us how it works?
So this new bird flight diverter is quite unique. It's rotational. It's 3-dimensional. It comes in there's red and white, black and white, and yellow and white. And what they found from studies with the RSPB is it can be seen at a far greater distance than the current bird diverters that are out there at the moment. So the bird actually sees it at a far greater distance than the ones that are currently being used. It rotates in the minimum amount of wind. It doesn't bounce down the line, and the big thing about it as well is you don't need as many on a span. So with a normal bird flight diverter, you might need 15. For the smaller bird flight diverters, with these you only possibly need 3 or 4 because how they're affected and how they rotate. They can be seen very easily with aircraft and helicopters. They're also used in the construction industry to pre-warn of overhead lines because they tend to draw your eye to the cells because they rotate. So yeah, we're very excited about the trial that's currently going on at the moment and hope to make more progress.
Carl, you mentioned the RSPB there. What's their involvement been in this project?
Yes, the RSPB have been involved in the design of this with the manufacturer. They're quite excited about it. Obviously, saving the lives of certainly some of the rarer species they're very interested in, and trying to find something to negate the way birds are flying into power lines and structures. So yes, at the moment, with the work that's been going on with the RSPB, it's looking like it's a very, very interesting product for them. They've done some testing with the manufacturer, and they're really pleased with the results. Yeah, what they found, an interesting thing that they found, yes, birds do tend to fly into certainly the lower and medium voltage cables. And the bird fly diverters, they can see those fairly easily. But what they found as well is certainly on towers, the birds fly in, they can actually see the conductors because they're quite big conductors, and then they fly upwards to avoid that and end up catching the ground line, the ground wire, should I say, that goes over the top. So in studies they found, by putting the bird flight diverters on the ground wire, it negates the birds from actually coming into contact with the wires. So they can see the power lines as they're coming into it, and they can also see the ground wire, so they fly up and above it or below it. So yeah, it's the trials are at the moment that saving significant amount of birds from being injured and killed.
So Carl, how have you been coping with the COVID-19 situation?
Yeah, COVID-19 has been quite interesting for us, really. We've worked right throughout the pandemic, but one thing we have noticed, obviously because most of the DNOs have been doing fault work only and not doing any general maintenance, we've seen an uptake in the woodpecker repair kits and the pole top rock kits and the ground line kits, so it's been quite good for us. But we've also diversified a little as well. So a lot of the adventure parks, such as Go Ape, that use utility poles for these adventure centres for the children and things. While they've been closed, they've been using our products to repair their climbing towers and things. And quite interesting thing for that industry as well is the fact that it's for them to change a pole is about 15 to 20 times the cost of changing a utility pole, because generally all these structures are all fastened together. So to do a pole change on a climbing tower, you would have to dismantle the whole tower. So for us, that's been a really interesting diversification of what we actually do. It's going really well, and we've had a lot of interest from the US as well. So we've got a team working out in the US at the moment doing exactly the same thing.
Carl, the woodpeckers and the rest of the birds don't know we've been on shutdown. So in that regards, it's business as usual for you and your team.
Yeah, very much so, Paul. Things really haven't changed for us. We've carried on working all the way through. It's been a strange time, but yeah, on the whole, yeah, the wildlife, in fact, have probably increased because there've been less people about. You probably find there've been more damage than there was before. But you know, hey-ho, yeah, we carry on, and that's the way we are. We're small enough to care, and we look after our customers really well, and that's what we're all about.
Will you have the new bird diverter on display at ENERGYxtra 2020? Because I'm sure there'll be a lot of interest in it.
Yes, we will definitely have the bird flight diverter on at the expo. They'll be rotating, so you can see exactly how they work, be able to have quite hands-on, and we've got some technical information that we can share as well. So we're really looking forward to it. We have a number of unique and innovative products that we want to showcase at the exhibition.
Thank you, Carl. That was absolutely excellent. I go walking most days, and when I'm out walking from now on and I hear, which I often do, I'll be thinking about UK utility solution provider and your absolutely excellent product for saving poles. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Right, thanks. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Louise. Great talking to you. Look forward to seeing you at the exhibition. Hopefully, very soon. Thanks for your time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, Carl. Looking forward to seeing you in November. We've got a lot to catch up about.